Hello, everybody, and welcome to race one of the chase here in the 712Breaks Cup Series here in CTC and SRL. Tonight, obviously, first race of the chase, 11th week of the season here in Season 9. Tonight, we're at the Darlington Raceway. 35 cars in session right now. Owen Walker, fastest on the board, although that was using the wall. So I think fastest real time would be Logan Wilson in the 76. But track has changed a lot during this practice session, so I think people's speed is going to change a lot when we go into qualifying here in a few seconds. On the left side of your screen, on the tower, take a look at those yellow names, yellow numbers. Those are your drivers in the chase. On the right side of the screen, the secondary tower, those are your current chase standings. Right now, before the race starts, that's how they stand after the points reset. So top 12 from last week got their points reset. Now they will, all 12 will fight it out for the championship over the next 5 weeks. Garrett Wolfenbarger has the highest points from the bonus. Guys behind going to try to make up that points deficit over the next 5 races. Qualifying getting underway right now. Like Ronnie Holmes going to be the first one out. And a lap Ronnie can put in and take a look at our weather for tonight. 77 degrees air temp, 111 track temp. Very hot track temperature to start this race. And not much wind, so that's why you see such a high track temperature. Two laps of qualifying available for these drivers tonight. Time's going to start coming in up on the board. Holmes going to be the first one to get a time in, 29.98 for the 57. Gets in the wall in lap 2, so that first lap's going to have to count. Casey Graves now jumps to the top of the board quickly, bested by Christian Delgado and Towel Owen. Garrett Wolfenbarger top of the board on his first lap. Casey Graves' second lap goes faster, 29.73. Delgado's second lap, first car to dip into the 29.6s. That Kevin Harvick throwback. Harry Grindell top of the board. Wolfenbarger 29.602. Harry Grindell the only one in the 5s now. What else we got out there? Logan Wilson, we mentioned, was one of the fastest in practice. Gonna have minutes left in qualifying. Wilson's first lap, 29.604. He's got race pace. You can run a good lap on your first lap. You can handle a out-of-control race car. We'll see if you can get a better lap on lap 2. I don't expect it. See, on the telemetry at the bottom, these cars are shifting tonight. To iRacing and NASCAR's mandated gear ratios, we have to shift these vehicles, although I think they would be anyway, even if we had free range. 29.450. Over a tenth faster than Grindell goes Logan Wilson to the top of the board. Really fast lap time for that 76 team. Quinn Newton, sponsor of the series, 712Breaks car. At 88, going to go to 13th. Bad lap there. Owens looks like he's finished up his laps. Blake Giglio up to second on the board on lap 1. See if he can improve on lap 2. Oh, he gets the wall. I think that will invalidate his lap. But he's just going to get some practice laps in now, I'm sure. Yep, gets the wall again in 3 and 4. And he's going to blow the BGR motor after the line. So, second place for Blake on lap 1. I think he had more speed in it as the tires warmed up, but couldn't use it. Brad Patton, another one of our chase drivers. Lap 1 looks like did not count. Maybe got the wall. Gonna try for lap 2. Almost got the wall out of 2 right there. Kind of missed the apex. So can recover a good lap here. Should have time to cross the line. Plenty of time. Cross the line for Brad Patton. 29.622. Pretty good lap there. You go to 6th. That'll wrap up qualifying. And we will be back in a moment. Start the race. Alright, welcome back. Finishing up warm-up right now. Kind of times these guys are putting in warm-up. You'll see race pace kind of prevail here in the warm-up as the track is the closest it will be to the start of the race. Nolan Walker fast in warm-up right now. Hayden Lowell going to be one of the drivers receiving an EOL to start the race as he has at-faults accumulated from the last few weeks. Same with the 2 of Brantley Bryant, going to get an EOL for a penalty from last season's championship race. And the 24 has a penalty from Talladega, so he will also be starting at the tail end of the field. No drive-thrus or anything of that sort this week. Just 3 cars starting at the back. And not to stir up any drama or anything, but if anybody missed the championship race from last season, the 56 and the 2 don't have the greatest history, so those two starting at the back at a track like this, hopefully there aren't going to be any fireworks from it. Well, let's go a little behind the curtain here. I'm going to get a side view set up so we can get a look at everybody's paint scheme. Sorry about that. A little unprofessional there, but just wanted to get it done. Didn't want to have to go to break or anything. I don't think we're going to have too many throwbacks out here tonight, as the official throwback week was back at Bristol earlier in the season. So if you want to see some really good throwbacks and a throwback broadcast, go check out the Bristol race. But I'm sure some guys brought out some throwback paint schemes as it was the real-life throwback weekend. 6 DG Swiss got the winning car from Sunday. Yeah, well, hope you saw it because it's gone. All right, this race going, gridding, gonna start up momentarily. Get geared up for 135 laps here at the Lady in Black track. Too tough to tame. It's got many nicknames. Got a lot of history. Alrighty. Go over our grid for tonight's race. On the pole position, Logan Wilson. The 76, I think that's his first career pole here in the Cup Series. So congrats on that. He's starting on that front row next to Blake Giglio, starting second tonight. Harry Grindell going to start in the third spot. That's here. Bradley Wilson starting in fourth tonight. And Garrett Wolfenbarger starting fifth. Brad Patton starting sixth. Kenny Frisbee in seventh. Christian Delgado in eighth. Brantley Bryant in ninth, but he will be serving an EOL for this week. He'll be starting at the tail end. Wyatt McCombs in 10th. Casey Graves in 11th. Mateo Ortiz looks like starting from the pits. Should have been starting 12th. Brian Jackson starting 13th. Howell Owen 14th. Davis Greenwell starting 15th tonight. Garrett Warren starting 16th. Cliff Mullins 17th. Quinn Newton in 18th. Ronnie Holmes 19th. Grant Lavin 20th. Michael Christopher 21st. Zachary Lance 22nd. Nick Leo 23rd. Daniel Llewellyn 24th. Jake Banowski 25th. Hayden Lowell going to be starting at the tail end of the field. Should have been 26th. Nick Cooper 27th. Dalton Hayes 28th. Patrick O'Keefe 29th. Brian Martin 30th. Jeff Price 31st. Nolan Walker 32nd. Dave Hoytsma 33rd. DG Swiss 34th. Jamal Collins 35th. And Jeremy Scherer running out our 36 car field for tonight's race at Darlington. Alright, let's see if we can dial up somebody before the green. We can. Hey Logan, it's Lucas, you got me? Try that again. Logan Wilson, you got me? Oh, looks like we're having radio problems unfortunately tonight. So can't get the pole sitter. Let's try outside pole. Hey Blake, it's Lucas. You got me?
How's it going?
Hey man, well, couldn't talk with a pole sitter, so we'll go with the second best guy here. Starting from the front row here, Darlington. Never won here in SRL. I think he won here in CTC a few seasons ago. But how are you feeling about tonight's race?
Not good. I'm not very good at Darlington. Hopefully that will make us fast here, and we just gotta get a good finish, right? So get some good points here and try to take this thing home and get it done.
Absolutely, man. Coming to the green. Good luck.
Thank you.
Blake Giglio starting from the outside. Pole. Pace car is off. Green flag in the hand of Barney, the flagman. And green flag in the air. We're spinning the tires. Drivers going every which way. Looks like they sorted it out. Oh, they're wrecking. Vadoski goes around. Caution's out on lap 1, turn 1. Wow, a lot of stacking up on the initial start. Cars spinning tires. Lap 1 of 135. We have several cars with significant damage. Back it up. Coming to the restart zone. Here we go. A lot of stack ups up front. We'll take a look at that in a moment. There it is. You can see the effect of all the cars spinning tires. And the 77 gets turned off the nose of the 92 and down into the 48. 91 and 24 make contact as well. So let's look at the cars up front here. So there's the pace cars off. We'll speed this up a little bit. There we go. So the cars up front all going to spin their tires. Like the 70 got it the worst. Right on board. On board with the 70 here. See, that car's just wiggling all over the place. On board with the 32, who was behind the 70. Man, just everybody spinning tires up front. This hot track temp definitely caught some guys off guard. That puts us under caution before we even got all 36 cars into the first turn. And Blake Giglio was able to get the lead in that quarter of a lap of racing. Leo gonna take the top for this restart. So, talking about the hot track temp, let's check in on it again. It was about, I would say, 94 degrees when these drivers came out for practice. Now it's about 113, so it's even gone up about 3 degrees since qualifying started. That's going to mean not much grip and a lot of tire fall off tonight. Giglio going to be the control car for this restart. Oh my goodness. Massive wreck again. The 18 of Kenny Frisbee. As I was trying to figure out some black flag issues with some drivers, I look over and see him sideways in front of the field. Oh, the 13 spun the tires. That's going to collect several chase drivers. That's going to collect several people who had no part in this. So on board with the 13 on this restart. Starts in first gear and on the shift just spins the tires. And going to collect a lot of drivers. On board with the 18 through this, or not. Well, gonna put us under our second caution to start the race. We still have not got out of really even turn one without a caution coming out. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, Giglio going to be in control again of this restart. See if we can even come out of turn 2 this time. Green flag back in the air. And it looks like everybody actually figured out how to use the throttle. Looks like we're going to make it into turn 1. Unbelievable. Alright, Giglio Wilson battle for the lead. Wilson makes the move in the middle of 1 and 2. Not really recommended here at Darlington. And then he got right up into that 16. And we might be wrecking. Yes, we are. Wrecking backstretch. Caution number 3. See what happened. .26.52 side by side off 1 and 2. 26 gets loose. Alright. Back it up one more time. On board with the 26. See if we can... Oh, that's not the 26. That's the 76. I love how this works. Okay, here we go. He makes the move to the outside of the 52. All is fine and dandy. Running the wall. No problems. No problems. Get off the corner. Hot track. Car just steps out on him. Hard in the inside wall. Big damage to the 52 car as well. Alright, we're going to be going to a single file restart here because things are getting bad. So. Yeah. Yeah, that's being wrecked out before you could even get into fourth gear is definitely not a good night, Cliff. Very sorry. Going green, single file. Would you look at that? That was a pretty nice restart, wasn't it, everybody? Logan Wilson making the move inside of Lake Giglio. Right off the restart. You saw him make that move right before the last caution came out, so he's going to try to finish it. You know, looks like he is. So Logan Wilson can go to the lead after starting on pole and lead his first lap tonight. Wilson up front, Giglio second, Grindel third. Bring up our point standings now that things have kind of settled down. Current point standings as they run. You can see Wolfenbarger does have the lead. Giglio has gotten up to second as he's second in the race. Oh, Grindel makes the move to the inside as Giglio gets in the wall. And Harry Grindel going to jump up to second. Damaged car, 26 DG Swiss. Like the 48 and the 26 both had black flags. 76 driving away. Have to wonder what that's going to do to his tires. Let's bring up our temperature again. our weather report, 113 degree track temp still, so definitely going to be some tire wear. See, 76 doesn't seem to be too worried about that right now. The way the race has been going, I don't blame him. We just get a bunch of short runs tonight because people are crashing. You don't need to save tires, but things are starting to maybe spread out. We have 2 wide right here. Neil Ortiz, Brianna Lavin, those 2 teammates. I don't think too much going to happen there. Now Nick Leo gets to the outside of Lavin. Leo's going to let him in. Brianna, she's going to be in 21st right now. Now Nick's going to get back underneath. Teo down to the bottom. We'll let both those 2 by. 26 going back out after serving the penalty. Gonna ride the bottom, make sure everybody can get by. That scared me a little bit. So Logan Wilson about 0.7 of a second over Harry Grindell. Bradley Wilson up to 3rd. Giglio's kind of falling back. I think he's saving some tire right now. Nobody else too keen on saving those tires at the moment. Delgado, we saw him start 8th. Worked his way back up to 12th after the crash. And I think lap 2 after spinning on the restart. Not lap 2, the second restart is what it was. I think it was about lap 6. Michael Christopher came into this race 3rd in points. Had a really consistent season. Only win so far is the duel, but has a really good season right now. Trying to battle back from that early wreck. Car looks pretty good, so just needs to get that track position back. Like Brad Patton's got by Blake Giglio, so now the 2 Brads are 3rd and 4th. One of the closest battles on track. A lot of race left. 112 laps to go. Now these 2 side by side into turn 1. This is the worst part of the track to pass on. Gonna use advantage of that high line right there and get by Bradley Wilson. Now Brad Patton up into a podium position. Grindell about a second back from Wilson. Logan Wilson, that is. And Brad Patton about 1.5 seconds back from Harry Grindell. There's a nice group of cars right here from 3rd all the way to 11th. Tail end of it, a caboose, if you will, is Brian Martin. Knocks on the door of the top 10 right behind Casey Graves. A lot of chase drivers up inside this top 10. 8 of the 10 drivers are in the chase. Now as Casey lets Brian by, it's going to be 3 to 7. But I'm looking to see that 76 fall off with the tires. He's been pushing really hard, but so far, still running really fast lap times. So this run, I think, would have to go pretty long for the tires to start falling off. So now that these guys are kind of riding in line, being patient with each other, let's go to a crank it up to start this race. Do I? That was the wrong decal. Where did I get that from? Wrong graphic. Alright, here we go. Alright, welcome back from the Crank It Up. Logan Wilson 2 seconds ahead of Brad Patton, who has just moved his way up into the second spot. Got by Harry Brindell. Logan Wilson seems like starting to fall off. Let's bring up our last lap times on the tower. See, he ran a 30.62. Now this time by he runs a 30.7. If you look down the order, Brad Patton with a 30.59. Brindell about the same as Wilson. Bradley Wilson about 10th faster than the other Wilson. Wolfenbarger and Giglio also in the 5s. Garrett Warren ran a 4 that time, so see from 5th all the way to 7th. Those three are really moving right now. However, they have 3.5 seconds to make up on our leader, so they need to be more than a 10th or 2 faster per lap. But I think this is going to be our turning point in the run. It's been about 25 laps green, maybe a little bit less. You're going to see the tires really start to matter, but they're going to have to pit in about 15 to 20 laps. So they got to start making that time up now and fast. Brian Martin, wicked loose off turn 2 right there. Field really starting to spread out now as the tires wear in. Christian Delgado, Tal Lowen, 11th and 12th, and then a 2.7 second gap back to Hayden Lowell in 13th. 5 point standings, not going to be too much different than when we last looked. Obviously, Blake falling back a little bit as he's now 6th on track. But those tires starting to come in for these guys that saved them. Brad Patton definitely cutting that lead down. Got it down to just a second. Logan Wilson. Okay, I don't think he got held up by the 26. It looks like maybe for a second the 26 was in his way, but 26 got down out of the way, and 76 did not lose any time on the running order. 26 car just trying to hold on to some points here. Got a lot of damage in that early wreck. Sitting 4 laps down on 30th right now. Looking for some cautions to fix that damage and get some lucky dogs. Got his teammate Patton by. Yep, not changing too much now. Patton just sitting about 1.1 seconds back. Logan Wilson. Oh, Logan Wilson gets the wall in 1 and 2. That's going to lose him a lot of time. Yeah, it looks like all in all that's going to cost him about 0.3 of a second. Could have been much worse. I give it about 15 laps until they need to pit for fuel. A lot of battle going on back here. Harry Brindell might have burned his tires off a little bit, and he's falling way back to this group that saved their tires. Go with the 6th, and I'm sure back to 7th as Garrett Warren's going to get by here off turn 2. Big gap back to Ronnie Holmes at 8th, so Brindell should be able to hold on to 7th here unless anything changes. As Brad Patton now down to a half second behind Logan Wilson. Bring up our last lap times again on the board. Not laps led, so we can take a look at that. Logan Wilson leading that by a lot. Caution is out. Scratch all that. And the 69 of Nick Leo and others involved for our 4th caution of the night. 23 and 69 battling side by side in 3 and 4. 69 runs up the corner. 23 comes down, keeps coming down, and they both wreck. Nice. Wish we could have had a long run there. But some people just can't get over themselves, can they? So that'll I'm sure force everybody down pit road for tires here. This is going to be interesting for fuel to the end. For how long they'll be able to make it. It should be one stop to the end, I think, but see how this ends up going. Oh, the 76 slides through his box. That's going to cost him, I'm sure, the lead right here. Oh, that camera's not great. I think we put some testing into this stuff as the track had an update, but Bradley Wilson going to win the race off pit road, so he's going to gain a lot of positions during this pit stop. Here, Wolfenberger off second, Blake Giglio in third. So Bradley Wilson going to get to the lead for the first time tonight. He led a majority of this Darlington race last season and ran out of gas in the closing laps, or on the last lap, coming to the line in last season's race, and that ended up giving the win to the 32 Garrett Wolfenberger. So, kind of getting some deja vu here with these two up front at Darlington. And Bradley's definitely hoping it doesn't end the same way it did the last time. Bradley going to elect to take the top for this restart. So it's going to be a single file restart. Checking on our weather. Track's gone down 1 degree since we last checked in, so not much different there. Pace car's off. Bradley Wilson in control. Green flag back in the air. Looks like a good restart for everybody. Bradley Bryant down to the inside wall off turn 2. He has had a rough night tonight, 8 laps down. First race since last season at Nashville, and it's not going very well. This time he was able to avoid damage for the most part, I think. It doesn't look too bad, but man, rough night so far for the 2 team. Checking on our points. Wolfenberger. Gap has closed significantly with Bradley Wilson in the lead, but Garrett's only back in 4th, so still definitely going to have a points lead. And there is no lead that's insurmountable at this point in the chase. We have another 4 weeks to go after this before the season is over. Now, many things can change between now and then. No matter if you wreck out tonight and your competitor wins, you can make up that gap in 4 weeks. There is no problem there. But definitely the safer bet is to have a clean race tonight and at least get a top 10, because that'll set yourself up good in the next 4 weeks. Man, Giglio running the 51 all the way up into the wall. He didn't put him in there, but he got close to it. Now the 76 going to try to make a move to the bottom, take the lead back. I don't think these guys are going to be too keen on saving this time around. They didn't get that time back. As Logan Wilson going to retake the lead here at Darlington on lap 49. Excuse me, sorry. Needed to grab some water there. Had a bit of a dry throat. Okay, side by side for third. Brad Patton, Bradley Wilson. Wilson up front, Giglio second, Patton third, and Bradley Wilson fourth. Got Garrett Wolfenberg running up for top 5. Garrett Warren right on his back bumper. Hayden Lowell able to get himself inside the top 10. So after starting with an EOL, he's up inside the top 10 already. Lap 53. A long way to go in this race. Oh, he gets the wall. Little broadcaster's curse there. No big deal. Just a little Darlington stripe. Patrick O'Keefe in the 92, 9 laps down, came back out after fixing the car in the garage. 9 laps down to 31st right now, just trying to get as many points as he can. This is the scenario I talked about a little earlier. It's probably better to have an incident like this in week 1. You got time to recover from it. It's going to be a long road ahead for that 92 team, but got another 4 weeks to fix the damage from tonight. Patrick's always ran well, especially at Watkins Glen, which will be in 2 weeks from now for their next points race. So he'll have some good points days coming up, I'm sure. But for right now, he's trying to get as many points as he can out here. Right behind him, there's Logan Wilson in the lead. Brad Patton desperately trying to run him down. Giglio saving a little bit of tire in that 3rd spot. Oh, Brad Patton swinging down off the wall, turn 2. 06 DG Swiss gonna let these guys go. I think he's gonna bring it to pit road. I think he might be, he took the wave around that time by, so I just come down and fix damage at this point. Take fuel and tires, who knows? I was hoping for another yellow after he took the wave around and didn't get it. Entire top four, about 7/10 of a second separating all four of them. You got Bradley Wilson, Garrett Wolfenbarger, and Garrett Warren, plus Ronnie Holmes right there. All four of those guys kind of close together. Steve Lowell got himself up to 8. Brendel, after getting up in second at one point, trying to battle back from the burning the tires off in the last run. I think he's trying to save the tires this time around. It seems to be going fairly well. Leaders 0.2 of a second apart. On board with Brad Patton as he tries to track down Logan Wilson. My goodness, the 76 got really close to 23 right there. '23 has a lot of damage from the last caution. Tough to let people by here at Darlington. You know, could he drive down to the apron like others have with the broken cars? Maybe, but you know, you can't ask the guy to do that. Top 3. 0.3 of a second separating all three of them. Blake Giglio's joined the party for the lead. Logan Wilson under fire from both those cars. Brad Patton, it's a little Darlington stripe right there. Gonna lose some time. Like Christopher, we talked about him. Talked about it. He was back in 20th. He's found his way up to 12th. Good job by Mike right there to get some track position back. Definitely going to help him in the points. Leo was thinking about making a move on the 7, but he's not there yet. Evans washing up bad right here, gets a little loose. Gonna allow Giglio to get a run. Not quite enough. Penn does a great job at cutting it down late in 1 and 2. Every time I think he misses the center of the corner, he cuts it down and gets a good run off. A little bit different line than everybody else is running, but it seems to be working well. Oh, he's loose! Big time loose! Never mind. Maybe not working as well as I thought. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Gotta cool that right rear tire down. It looks like it's screaming. So that's going to give Blake Giglio 2nd spot. No contest. Didn't even have to fight for it. That's the best way to make a pass. You don't even have to fight anybody for it. Patton, the hot tires. He's going to fall all the way back to 5th, trying to cool him down. Giglio makes the move for the lead. Not there yet. We got the wall a little bit. Had to get out of the gas. Both of them in the wall. The 76 is wrecking. Looks like he saved it. Definitely, yeah, a little bit of right front damage now for the 76 of Logan Wilson. And the caution is out as Blake Giglio takes the lead. And it looks like the 69 and the 54. 69 up ahead, battling with the 74, makes the move into turn 1. And the 74 gets in the wall, the 16 kind of slides up into her, and then 54 had nowhere to go. So, that one's a tough one to call. I think the 69, honestly, was trying to just give the corner up to the 74, but the 74 had to drive it in up high, which made it tough to make the corner. Ended up getting in the wall. 69 expected to be able to slide up into the wall behind the 74 and wasn't able to, so I think that was just one of those Darlington deals. Unfortunate, but you'll get those. Much less egregious than our last caution, I can tell you that. And everybody down pit road once again, no surprise there. They have 4 extra sets of tires tonight on top of what they started on, so this should be their 3rd different set of tires tonight for most guys. They'll have 2 left in the pits. Logan Wilson wins the race off pit road, so Giglio got the lead back, I think, under green, but Logan Wilson going to take it back under caution. I think. I don't know if Blake actually got the lead on the timing loop. I think he did. He had to have. All right. So, we'll be back to double file here. Logan Wilson in control of the restart. Elected to take the outside lane. Pace truck pulls off. For the restart zone. Across the line and green flag back in the air. Nobody spins the tires. Good restart all the way through. Nice job, everybody. And they're going to be single file for the top 5 already. Now top 6. Top 8, and now pretty much single file all the way through. That's how quickly you can get single file at Darlington. A mad dash to get sorted out after the restart. Jamal Collins maybe has an issue or just letting people by. But... oh, the 69's in the wall again. And he's had a rough night. Gonna fall back to 23rd. He's still on the lead lap, but I think he's got damage from the last two incidents. Up for the lead. Logan Wilson still in the lead. Garrett Wolfenbarger second. Lecchio third. Wolfenbarger the defending winner here at Darlington. Logan Wilson has been, I would say, far and away one of the best cars out here tonight, if not the best. He's had a really good ability at holding on to the lead, driving away at the start of a run, and not really giving it up until maybe later on. Is the only time we saw him get passed was when he made a slight mistake off turn 2 last run right before the caution. Giglio was able to get by on that, but in terms of raw speed, I think that 76 is going to be the car to beat. And that's the thing with Darlington. You'll get guys who maybe aren't the best car at other tracks, and they'll come out to Darlington and you can't touch them. That goes for a lot of tracks. Everybody has their track they like, but Darlington seems to have a select few that have it down. Saw that last season. Bradley Wilson, I think it was a little bit cooler track temps last season. I think that aided him. He was far and away one of the best cars last season, and now he's kind of stuck in traffic. Hasn't really had that opportunity to get up front on a long run. Mired in traffic in fourth, but still having a good night tonight. Hayden Hole up inside the top 5 now. He's done a really good job at driving from dead last. Pat. Oh, Wolfmarger moved to the lead. Looked to the inside in turn 3, wasn't there yet. Second on our points battle once again. Be it Wolfmarger, Wilson, Giglio top 3 in points as they sit. As Nick Cooper, we haven't really talked about him too much tonight. He's running 15th right now. Pretty respectable. This is what I was talking. Oh no! Cars all over the place on the front stretch. Brad Patton. They are wrecking. Ronnie Holmes goes around. He's in the outside wall. 10 gets caught up in this. Wow, a wreck inside the top 10 is going to put us under our 6th caution, I think. Alright, let's see if we can back it up and see how this starts. We saw it started around the 7, I think. Up a little more here. So these two battling side by side, 56 and the 7. 7 makes it a move to the inside in turn 1. They're definitely close off turn 2. They get into each other, they save it. 70 gets into the 7, turns him up the racetrack, then the 57 gets in there and comes right down into the 10 and the 77. Oh, man. Wow, that 57 came right down the racetrack. Did not hold the brakes. It's gonna 10 caught up in this. Not worried with that. I'm bored with the 10 here. Oh, just nowhere to go. Well, that's a pretty big wreck on the backstretch. And it looks like our top 3 all came down pit road with everybody else, but they went fuel only. So top 3 fuel only, but 4th all the way on back. Pretty much all the lead lap cars taking tires here, it looks like. Aside from the 14 of Jeff Price. Everybody came down pit road. PG Swiss looks like taking the wave around. Gary Grindell on pit road, still fixing damage. He had a meatball penalty. He's 2 laps down already. That's a huge blow to that 70 team. Darlington has not been nice to many people tonight. Who needs an EOL? That was weird. iRacing trying to put the 57 in front of the field. He is a lap down, so I'm not sure what iRacing was thinking right there. But side by side for the lead. Wolfenbarger trying to take that lead away. Logan Wilson holds on to it. They're still side by side. 32 going to try to side draft the 76 back. And he'll do it. He's got the nose in turn 1. Wilson uses the top lane and he'll clear back into the lead. Alright, well, let's bring up our point standings after that horrendous turn of events. And all those cars that got involved in that, Ronnie Holmes, Harry Grindell, those 2 both fall to 10th and 11th in points. Ronnie on pit road, he's fixing damage now. That car is definitely torn up. We got some cars setting the fastest lap of the race right now. Garrett Wolfmarger, he took tires on this last caution. Same with the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Hayden Lowell stayed out. He didn't stay out. He took fuel only, so no tires for that 56. 16 took 4 tires, which means I think those guys will have 1 set left in the pits. And with 45 laps to go. 46 actually as it stands. I don't know if I want 1 set of tires left with 46 laps, but you know, if it goes green, it's a good call because it should go green to the end. But if we have a couple cautions mixed in there, that could be a problem for those guys that took tires now. But it doesn't seem like the tires are really giving an advantage, as the 76 didn't take tires and he's still got really good pace up there in the lead. just how close the 76 gets to the wall in 1 and 2. Not too close that time. The driver that I'm seeing really get close to the wall in 1 and 2 is the 51 of Bradley Wilson. He cuts it very close every time. He gets as much of a run as he can. Go on board with him here as he goes through 1 and 2. Just show how close he gets to that wall. Right up on it. 56 behind him actually gets a stripe back there. 7's behind him. 56 2 cars back. Napa Auto Parts throwback. These cars on tires starting to close up to that 76. As these tires heat up, the newer tires are going to matter a lot more. When they're cold off a restart, you're not going to see much of a difference, but as soon as you get some temp in them, the tire wear will show itself. And you're seeing it right now. 32, 51, and 7 all closing in. Now the 7 makes the move on the 51. These guys, I just can't help but notice, they're making these moves backwards. Darlington, I think that it's always been, maybe before the next-gen car, but you make your move in 3 and 4. You lose too much time making a move in 1 and 2, and I've seen a lot of people doing that tonight. I think it's just a product of this car and how it races. You can kind of get a better run in 1 and 2, maybe at the cost of your competitor and yourself, but if you can get by them, I guess no harm, no foul. But the way it's always been done at this track, you want to make the move in 3 and 4 because you can actually run side by side through there as the 76 is out of shape. Now the 32 makes the move to the inside. Into 3 and 4. Like, off the nose goes the 76 up into the outside wall. They're 3 wide in 3 and 4. Still 3 wide. Contact with the 7. He goes down the track. So does the 56 at the same time. And he saved it. Brad Patton somehow hangs onto that race car and maintains 7th spot. So he did a lot of damage control right there, and he's going to hang on to the 7th place after about killing that car, as those 3 were 3 wide. That wasn't his fault at all. I mean, he was just running his line on the bottom as the 76 went off the nose of the 32. I'm not sure whose fault that was. I couldn't tell if the 76 came down earlier or the 32 washed up the track on entry, but... Oh, the 32! His wheel locked up! He's got hardware problems! Oh, no! From the lead, I think his system just locked up. He went full wheel left and locked up the brakes. I don't think he did that. I think he's having hardware problems. Oh my goodness. And I don't think that gave damage to the 51, so that's going to hand the lead to the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Now, Wolfenbarger gets it going as he rolls up onto the racetrack. And that is going to be a penalty. Not sure how in control he was of that car. But either way, hardware problems are not an excuse. We'll take a look back at everything that just transpired. That was a lot. So, back it up. See the 32 right here. We're going to get in the cockpit here if we can. We're going to back it up. Okay, he's got some major problems going on there. Let's back it up to out of turn 2. On board with the 32 car. There you see it right there. Full throttle, full brake, full clutch, and full wheel left. So some sort of device driver problem or something right there. And there he gets control of it. Maybe. I don't know, his computer comes back. Pedals still aren't connected. That car is just ripping. I think right here he's going to get connected again. Starts rolling. As the leaders go by, it throws the caution. Wow. That was something. So, everybody, not everybody coming down pit road. Everybody's staying out right here, it looks like. Okay, well, that was wild. So 8th on Backel came down pit road. All the cars that stayed out right there, or took fuel only the last time, they're going to take their set of tires they saved for this moment. Hayden Lowell, Logan Wilson, Cooper takes tires, Wyatt McCombs looks like fuel only. Everybody else taking tires behind them. So I mean the 32, I get it. I don't see him bringing out a caution purposefully right there. He had a bad hardware problem, and he was trying to fix it, not have to tow because you know he's racing for points. He's racing for a championship here. This is the first round of the chase. You have something screw up now, it could be huge later on in this 5 races. So he was trying to get the thing fixed. He went under the hood live while he's on the backstretch. He was off the racing line, and once he got it fixed, he started rolling, and unfortunately cars went by at that exact moment. So brought out the yellow, and here we are. Alright, coming back to the green. Bradley Wilson in control, Garrett Warren on his outside. Wolfenbarger again has an issue. On the restart, 32 goes into the corner, and it does it again right up into the 92. And that's going to give heavy damage to the 92 of Patrick O'Keefe. Bradley Wilson out front. Blake Giglio second. Garrett Warren third. Brad Patton fourth. Good recovery from that 7. Casey Graves fifth. Hayden Lowell, first car on tires. He's making the move on Casey. He'll be up in the 5th now. Up right on board with Hayden as he's got the newer tires. He should be able to make quick work of these guys, I would think. He's just got to be patient about it. Right, this move right here. Okay, he's going to back out of it. I was going to say. I don't know if I'd be making that right now. He's got 30 laps to go. He's got time to do this. There you go. Build the run off 2. Get the run down the backstretch. Make it into 3 and pass him. That's the old school way, and it's tried and true. It works. So, Hayden Lowell up to 4th now. Making the move on the 7 of Patton for 3rd. These two, not big fans of each other. They're going to be nice to each other for now. Hayden Lowell going to move up into the 3rd spot. Those tires are working really well right now. 'cause it's only a matter of time until he takes that lead. So after that incident, Garrett Wolfenbarger came into this race leading the points. His worst finish all season was an 8th place at Daytona. Is now 6 laps down out of this race due to a wheel problem. Nothing of his own, just pure bad luck. I feel for him. I've been there. Literally last year I was there dealing with computer problems. Many of you saw it on our broadcast where we would lose broadcast halfway through due to my computer crashing. So I've been there, and it's really tough to deal with. You got speed, you feel like you're doing a great job all night, and just something out of your control takes you out. But he's got a long way to go. He's not going to be that far back in points. Got 4 more weeks to right the ship. As long as he gets that wheel problem figured out, I have faith in him. He'll make that up pretty well. Hayden got up in the second while I was yapping. Gonna try to work over Bradley Wilson here off turn 2. He's got to run. Those newer tires really coming in now. He's gonna be dead even into turn 3. I don't think Bradley's gonna fight this too hard. He knows those tires are much better, and he won't. Hayden Lowell, for the first time tonight, goes to the lead. And it seems like a great call to wait on taking those tires. It's Nick Cooper, who also took them. He's up into 4th now. I said earlier in the show, I hadn't talked about him much tonight. He's just been kind of running in the teens. But now, he's up into 4th, making the move on Giglio. As Giglio gets by Bradley Wilson. And a slide job into turn 3. Bradley going to let those two both by. Oh, contact! 16 got loose off the corner, forced the 35 down the racetrack. This is allowing Hayden Lowell to drive away. Giglio going to let Nick Cooper by turn 3. He knows the tires are better. Not much point in fighting it. You're just going to lose your own self-time. So, give it up now and fight the people that have the same tires as you. Now your battle is going to be 56th and the 35, I would say, as the next closest car on tires is the 22 of Michael Christopher, who is up in the 6th. He's marching up the order as well with those newer tires. But he started a little bit farther back in the restart. Just not as quick getting up through the field. 04, out of shape off turn 4. '76, who led a lot of this race. Take a look at our laps led. '76, who led 75 laps this race, now finds himself in 8th place after the pit stop cycles. Hayden just led his 5th lap of the night. 21 laps to go. And Nick Cooper is running him down. So not sure if Hayden's actively saving tire or if he might have burned him off a little bit, getting up through the field quicker. Either way, Nick Cooper is closing the gap right now. Yeah, there are a lot of drivers right now begging for a caution. I can tell you who's not. The 56 and the 35 for sure, along with everybody else that took tires on the last stop. Michael Christopher battling for 4th now with the newer tires, and he'll get it. He'll bring Christian Delgado with him, maybe? Delgado to the inside of Wilson. Now he's going to back down in turn 1. For the lead! Cooper tried to get there in turn 1. Hayden Lowell uses the outside. He's going to hold on to it. All these guys on tires are hoping we don't get another yellow. Most of them, I think, if not all of them, have tires left in the pits. So it wouldn't be a huge deal for them. But right now, they are a significant amount faster than the rest of the field. Didn't take them. So they hope it just goes green. Nick Cooper, he's running the wall now. He's kind of dipping his tires up in the shadow up in 3 and 4. Talked about that a few weeks ago. Not more than a few weeks ago. It was a long time ago at Vegas. About a month ago. And Nick was really good at running that high line in Vegas in 1 and 2 where the shadows were, the track cooled down. So right on board with him here. Kind of seeing him do that here at Darlington 3 and 4. Get his right sides up where the sun isn't shining. And getting that cooler track. Now he's going to kind of do a cut down here. Nick, probably one of the best dirt racers I know. Between him and Giglio, I would say. There are many other good dirt drivers in this league and across SRL, but those two are the only dirt pro drivers I know, so former. And a track like this is going to suit them pretty well. Very technical. Nick is all over that 56 back bumper. Nick Cooper running second. He has the points lead as they run. Michael Christopher does get up to third ahead of Blake Giglio, so he's up into second in points. Ian Lowell as the leader, he's up into third in points. So this race alone, if they finish how they are, has completely flipped these playoffs on their head. But I'm just going to say it again. We got 4 more weeks. Things can change a ton to the end of these playoffs. So this race by no means is crowning anybody a champion. We could see some of those guys up in the top 3 finish 12th at the end of this thing. And some of those guys in 10th, 11th, 12th, they could win the dang championship. There's plenty of time. But right now, this is kind of setting the pace for the rest of this chase. A lot of the guys down at the bottom, they're going to have to drive a little harder to get points. And the guys at the top, they're going to be able to take it a little easier. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. We're going to be off for points racing next week, as it will be Easter next week. So I'm going to have an off week in the entirety of SRL. We'll be running a fun dirt race at Bristol Dirt on Wednesday, so make sure to tune in for that. I have heat racing, the whole shebang. It's going to be fun. And after that, we'll head to Watkins Glen for the second race of the chase. We're going to hit 10 laps to go this time by. A lot of battling right here. Nolan Walker trying to hold off Logan Wilson, Bradley Wilson. Oh, they're going off! Oh, wow, here we go. Logan Wilson off the nose of the 51 in turn 2, and that's a caution. Logan Wilson, who led more than half of this race, is driving backwards, Kyle Busch style, on the backstretch. Jake turn that thing, get it back going. Back it up, see what happened. Nolan Walker making the move to the inside in turn 1. Logan Wilson sticks his nose back in there, gets in the wall. Then the 51 gets into him. Those two just bounce off each other right there. The 14 gets involved as well. And everybody's going to come down pit road. The question is, who takes 4 tires, who takes 2 tires, and who stays out? I don't think anybody's going to stay out. That wouldn't be very smart. Oh, the 56 missed his box a little bit. Did I just see what I think I saw? Okay, so, Michael Christopher, Nolan Walker, and Logan Wilson all stay out here with 27-lap-old tires, so I'm assuming these guys are out of tires. That's the only reason I could think that you wouldn't pit here. Meanwhile, Nick Cooper, I don't think had his tires checked. Or he just took fuel only. I don't know, but he only had a 3-second stop, so he didn't take any tires. Hayden Lowell and pretty much everybody else takes 4 tires. Jamal Collins takes 2 tires. Well, as the 54, I think. I'm sorry, no, the 54. He tried to take away around here, but we had some people stay out, so he wasn't able to take it. So I think we'll see him pit right here. Michael Christopher going to be in control of this restart. He was hoping we would go green here. Alright, top 3 stayed out, everybody else on 4 tires. How is this going to pan out? The 22 had a really good run going. And the only reason I could think he would stay out here is if he was out of tires. This is about to get crazy. This is shades of last season's race, where we had a pretty clean race up until the end, and then we used all of our green-white checkers. But here we go. Coming to 6 to go. 22 in control of the restart. Green flag back in the air. 76 spins the tires. And they're maybe 3 wide back there. Looks like they back out of it. 22's hoping they wreck. And they're about to. Holy crap. 76 in the wall off turn 2. Everybody's checking up for it. '76 in the wall again. My goodness, he cannot get out of the wall. 22 Michael Christopher. 77 of Nolan Walker. Top 2 right now. They stayed out on the old tires. And those tires don't seem too bad right now. As the 22 gets tight, center of the corner, 77 puts him in the wall! Unreal. 77 just completely destroys the 22. Watch it from the blimp camera. 22 gets a bad run through the center of 1 and 2. 77 makes the move to the inside and then just puts him in the wall. He didn't even try to make the exit. And a good points night turned into a destroyed race car for the 22. And Nick Cooper, after not taking tires on his pit stop, he has the lead. And we're going to use our first overtime attempt here. So things are looking really good for that 35, because those tires didn't seem too much slower on that run. And let's check in on our stats so far. 9 cautions tonight. So if we finish under green, that would tie our last race in terms of cautions. Our last Darlington race, I should say. Last season's Darlington race was 9 cautions. However, we used all 3 green, white checkers in that run, so hopefully that doesn't repeat itself. 10 lead changes tonight. 7 different leaders. I did not expect for a track as hard as it is to pass to have 7 different leaders, so that is incredible. There's been a lot of crashing for that to happen, and weird wheel disconnect problems, and you name it. This race has had it all. Been a crazy Darlington race. They're not usually this packed with excitement and drama. Alright, so 22 Michael Christopher after that incident. Car's still rolling, though he doesn't have race-ending damage, but finds himself back in 21st. Let's take a look at our point standings now. That dropped Christopher from 2nd all the way down to 7th. Nick Cooper is going to have a good lead here tonight if he can take home this win. Insanity. Alright, Nick Cooper going to be in control of this restart. He elects to take the top lane. Here we go. Pace car's off. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for Nick Cooper as the inside lane gets a really bad restart. Giglio going to try to chase down Cooper with the newer tires. And a really good run through 1 and 2 for Giglio. Oh, the 74 shoots down to the inside wall. No caution. Coming to the white flag this time. Giglio looks to the inside off turn 4. Side by side at the line. Giglio going to lead that lap. Nick Cooper does have the preferred line here. Giglio going to slide up in 1 and 2, and he takes the lead. White flag in the air. Down the backstretch they go for the final time. Nick Cooper gets in the wall, allows Christian Delgado to get into 2nd for the moment. Blake Giglio's just got to get through 3 and 4 clean, and he's got this. Through 3 and 4 they go. Halo to the outside of Nick Cooper as Blake Giglio going to take home the 3rd win of the season for that 16 team here at Darlington. Well, we only needed 1 overtime attempt. Giglio steals 1. Blake, it's Lucas. You got me?
How's it going?
Hey, man. Well, that was certainly an auto racing event where you take home the win here tonight in a crazy series of events, man. Walk us through your night.
Yeah, again, like I said earlier in the race, definitely not the fastest car. I thought we were top 5 speed all night. That I was kind of I was kind of upset. I thought the race got away from us there when I didn't take tires. Thought we were gonna finish like 5th, which I was okay with. Good points day, especially in the playoffs. And then yellow came out. I wanted to take 2 tires, but I talked myself out of it. Took 4. Wrecked. I closed my eyes through that wreck. Don't know how I missed it. It was right in front of me. I mean, scary. And then I think we took off real good there on that green white checkered, and we were able to clear and come home with the win here.
Yeah, man, that was really good green white checkered there for you. You made that move nice and clean. Got by Nick, and we're home free after that point, man. Just not a clean night for you. You were involved in some stuff, but I mean,
was I? I don't even remember. What was I involved in?
I did, there was wrecks everywhere, so I'm sure everybody was involved in something tonight.
Oh,
but...
okay. I thought I wrecked some. I was like, I don't think.
No, you didn't wreck anybody. You had a nice clean night in terms of at faults, but no. Anybody want to shout out for the win?
Yeah, you for broadcasting, CTC Racing, Logic Reports on my performance. Sponsor tonight was was it Frisbee?
Yes, Wannagoons.
Yeah, shout out to Wannagoons sponsoring tonight. Good way to start our playoff run. We have a lot of points we got to make up, so I mean, good start for sure. And I got to do some coloring book homework for my business class. So.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on the win here tonight. Sets you up well for the rest of this chase. See you next week.
Thank you.
That was Blake Diglio taking home the win tonight. Let's see if we can get a word with our second place finisher. Christian, it's Lucas. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Lucas.
Well, you take home a second place tonight. It was a bit of a roller coaster for you here at Darlington, but taking home a nice podium spot. How was your night?
Yeah, it was definitely a chaotic night. It's funny, I caused that second restart wreck. I saw Harry, he started in first and lost it. I was fine. I didn't spin the tires at all, so I just kind of stuck to my gut and started in first, and it just did the same thing. And fortunately, tore up a bunch of really fast race cars, and obviously didn't mean to. But yeah, after that, I think that gave us like 3 minutes of damage. So luckily, we got some cautions to go down pit road and get that damage fixed. And by the end there, we got it all done and fixed, and the car was driving really well. And then towards the end there, I think we were running around like 12th or 13th, and the caution came out, and I decided to come down because I was like, I'm outside the top 10, might as well come down. We got a set of tires, and they drove up into the top 5, and then those last couple of restarts, we just kind of got lucky, getting around the wrecks or getting the right lane. Just on the bottom, it's kind of you really don't want to be on the bottom at all, I feel like, on the restarts. And we were the top, I think, the last 3, and then we got the front row after they wrecked for the lead with those guys who stayed out. And it's just so hard to time it and not jump the start. And Blake and who was that? The leader just timed it just right, and I think it was the 51, and it got around me, and then I saw those two battle it out. The second place driver get the wall, and I just barely stuck around. But pretty new to the CTC Cup Series. Obviously not running in the playoffs, so right now we're just looking for good finishes, maybe get some TV time here and there.
Absolutely, man. Well, you were up front quite a bit at the end of that race tonight. Like you said, took those tires. It worked out really well for you. It was cool to see. You got anybody want to shout out for the second place?
Yeah, I guess first shout out to everybody who runs the league here, all the admins and stuff. Shout out to the race sponsor. I know someone sponsored it. I'm not too positive who did it, but obviously can't do it without them. But obviously I have to shout out my team, the Bean team, for doing everything. Shout out my sponsors, Track Racer, High Velocity TV, Steel Car Detailing, Bully Dog Coffee Company, and I guess the folks over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. And then lastly, Lucas, appreciate you and everybody over at CTCRN for putting on these broadcasts. I enjoy going back and watching them, and I know, I put on the broadcast on an overlay for the live stream, and I know that everybody in the chat also appreciates all the hard work you guys put into there.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for talking to us. Congrats on that second, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you, man.
As Christian Delgado taking home second tonight, we'll see if we can our third place finisher. Like he's sitting on pit road. Waiting here. Hayden, it's Lucas. You got me.
Yeah, I got you, Lucas.
Well, you take home a nice podium tonight. Really good points night for you. I know you led some of this race. I know you wanted that win bad, but a podium finish got to be pretty good for you.
Yeah, podium finish is definitely good for the points. Looking at them on my other monitor after tonight, uploaded them to the SRL section of things, and things certainly look better than I expected them to going into tonight. We're in a good spot. Kind of frustrating to lose another race. I thought I could win to Blake Giglio for a third time this season. But otherwise, solid third coming from the back to serve that penalty, and I'll absolutely take that.
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, I forgot about that. Came from the back of the field to take home a podium. That's even more impressive. So nice job on that. Got anybody you want to shout out for it?
Yeah, Napa Auto Parts, Arc Music, C2X, Madigan Motorsports, Low Drag Esports as always. 712Breaks and you, Lucas, for putting on our Wednesday night Cup Series. And all the other sponsors and admin that put on our 8 different leagues on 6 different days of the week. Super fun race tonight. Appreciate everyone for coming out. Rough start for sure, but we got it under control and had a bunch of green flag racing just for some from dramatic stuff at the end. So about a textbook NASCAR race if you ask me, and it was pretty fun, all things considered.
Absolutely, man. Well, appreciate you talking to us. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, Lucas.
As Hayden Lowell taking home a third place tonight. Now we'll go through our results. We close out the show. All right, race results. Blake Giglio taking home the win. Christian Delgado second. Hayden Lowell third. Nick Cooper fourth. Davis Greenwald 5th, Bradley Wilson 6th, Garrett Warren 7th, Towell Owen 8th, Jeremy Shearer 9th, Wyatt McCombs 10th, and Jamel Collins 11th. Another one of those drivers that took an EOL to start the race, so to come back to 11th, really good job by that 2014. Nick Leo taking home 12th, Mateo Ortiz 13th, Logan Wilson 14th, Brian Martin 15th, Dalton Hayes 16th, Michael Christopher 17th. Heartbreaker for him as well. Led with, I think, like 5 to go, and we all saw it. We saw what happened. So that was a heartbreaking way to end the race for him and his points night. Same with the 76. Led more than half of this race, and some tire strategy and some wrecks got him back in 14th. So those two are wishing things went a little better tonight, but still got a long way to go in the season. Casey Graves taking home 18th. Nolan Walker 19th. Brad Patton 20th. Then Brianna Lavin 21st. DG Swiss 22nd. Jake Vinosky 23rd. Daniel Llewellyn 24th. Patrick O'Heath 25th. Brownlee Bryant 26th, Jeff Price 27th, Rennie Holmes 28th, Kenny Frisbee 29th, Garrett Wolfenberger 30th, Harry Grindell 31st, Brian Jackson 32nd, Quentin Newton 33rd, Dave Hoytsma 34th, Zachary Lance 35th, and rounding out our 36 cars tonight, Cliff Mullins in 36th. Alrighty. So thank you all for watching tonight. Hope you enjoyed Darlington. We'll be back in 2 weeks for our next points race, but make sure to tune in next week. Not sure where that's going to be yet. We'll figure that out. But it'll be a fun night at Bristol Dirt here in these next-gen cars. It's going to be something. Make sure to tune in for that next Wednesday. And obviously the rest of the chase resuming in 2 weeks. See you then. Thanks for watching. I'm Lucas Hoytsma. See you then.